Look, I'm not doing it. Come on, I promised people
I'm not
we'd do it. Doing it. Go on, just a little bit. Look at it this way. Look at the weather. There's not a chance.
But
I'm going out.
Like in this,
everybody's expecting. I'm doing it. What do you mean the weather? Give Tom a call. Tom will do it. Get out there and do it. Go on, give Tom a call. He'll do it. He's much better than me anyway. The man has glove knowledge for days. Give Tom a call. Where are you? I'm not doing it. End of discussion. Tom's better than me anyway. I'm off.
How you doing, guys? My name's Tom, and today James is letting me take over the Boot Wizard Boot Reviews channel. Very brave of him to do that. We'll see whether he's made a huge mistake by the end of this video. Now why, you ask? Well, that's simple. I'm here for one reason only, and that's to talk about goalkeeper gloves with you guys. Something new for James's channel, I know. So if you like it and you want to talk about goalkeeper gloves more often on the channel, let us know down in the comments, and we might just make this a regular thing. Before we get into this, that I'll ask of you guys. If you like your goalkeeper gloves, if you're a boot nerd, or if you just love your football, please follow me on Instagram at Delair Football. I'd love to hear from all of you and find out what you're up to out in the world of our beautiful game. All right, so why am I so excited? Because today we're kicking off this new goalkeeper glove review segment on the channel with a brand new drop from Nike. And we don't really get brand new drops from Nike very often. We got a few little tweaks to the VG3 here and there. We got that horrible strapless thing they did. But this time round, they've given us the Phantom Elite, a brand new model, and I can't wait to see what it's all about. And that's what we're gonna find out today in this video. So all right, let's have a look at the gloves.
What the hell is this?
Now you're probably wondering, 115-pound glove, and they send it to you in a plastic bag. It's a little underwhelming, I know, I hear you, but if you know your gloves, you know what's going on here. So what is going on here? Well, when Nike send their gloves out in this flashy packaging here, the plastic bag, it's their promo stock. It's a small batch that they do mostly for their professional keepers, their endorsees and their pro players. They also do limited numbers that are available to us plebs at specialist goalkeeper shops. I got these ones from Just Keepers in the UK. Now, this particular pair, the dead giveaway that it's a promo pair, is in this Nike swoosh here. You see, it's a smaller vertical swoosh. The retail model, it's got a much bigger logo. The reason for that is FIFA and UEFA don't like large logos on goalkeeper gloves. It's got to be under 20 square centimeters or something like that. As random as that is, that's the rules. So each season Nike have to put out a glove with a smaller logo just to meet the FIFA and UEFA requirements. Usually with the promo gloves, we see some differences in the materials, the latex or something along those lines. But the team at Just Keepers have assured me this time around that it's just cosmetic. And considering that the retail and the promo are both priced at 115 pounds, you know what? I believe them. Now, last but not least, what I found out as well is that the promo pair does not have an ACC logo on the palm. Now, if my glove doesn't have an ACC logo, do they even have ACC? Thanks a lot, Nike. Now I can't wear these in the wet. All right, let's have a look at the gloves. So, first things first, it's a negative cut with mesh gussets, which should give us a nice snug fit on the hands. Negative thumb as well. You can see that seam there with a little wrap over on the top. Nothing crazy about the design, but the negative cut is by far the most popular cut among your professional keepers these days. So, can't go wrong, hopefully. The backhand, though, is where things get interesting. They're moving into this more modern style of business with a full neoprene backhand that I don't know if you can see on the camera there. It's got this real, I guess, ribbed texture is the only way I can describe it. It kind of reminds me of, never mind. Jokes aside, let's move to the wrist and getting this glove on. It's a very underrated area of the glove, in my opinion, that sets up the comfort of the glove and how it's going to fit you. The strap on this glove is just your standard strap, nothing fancy, but again, it's neoprene. No latex on this glove other than the palm itself. And then the wrist, where again, we've just traditionally seen your classic mesh wrist from Nike. This time round, it's a neoprene wrist and they've put that little Lycra insert on the wrist too. So those of you with wider wrists, hopefully you can get this glove on the hand easily enough. Me, I got quite a slim wrist. That's not going to be an issue for me. And that's enough talk. Let's get the glove on the hand. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's tight. Not even in yet, and that is tight. Oh, well, there we go. Straight away, my fingers are right in the tips, but they're not bursting out. I'm usually a size 8. That's what I've gone for in this. And I would not want to change it. That is a perfect size 8. So if you're interested in this glove, true to size, 100%. Strap it up and see how it feels. I'm very impressed with this wrist. Like I said, I've got quite a narrow wrist, but you can see it's not too baggy. There's a lot of gloves these days, like some of those newer, smaller brands, where there's a lot of overlap and a lot of excess in the wrist. None of that going on here. So I'm very happy about that. It's got a nice closure on it that feels really good. It's not distracting, but it's good support. The wrist strap, as you can see there, is a little long, but that's all right. Like I said, I've got a narrow wrist. I half expect that. I've got to say, this is a seriously comfortable glove. I'm loving the feel of this on hand already. It's just snug, comfortable. It's got enough padding that you feel protected, not like some of these ultralight gloves that are coming out. It's not an ultralight glove at all, even though it's full neoprene on the backhand. But at the same time, still got plenty of flex in the fingers, decent amount of punching protection on the fist there, if that's your thing. The palm, well, if Just Keepers are right, that it's exactly the same as a retail glove, it's Nike's ACC foam, and you can hear it. It's got a fair amount of grip already, and keep in mind, these are brand new, straight out of the packet. I haven't washed them yet. Once they get a wash, they should come alive even more. I've got a football here. Let's see how we go. Like I said, I'm a size 8, not the biggest hands in the world, and I'm also left-handed, so this is my weak hand. But that ball lifts up, no problems at all with this latex. You can hear it sticking onto the ball too. I got high hopes for that palm. I think this is gonna give me some really good grip. I'm really happy with the fit on these two. Snug, comfortable, flexible, true to size. That's what I like in a glove. You can't go wrong with that. So from here, I'm gonna give these a pre-wash. A lot of people tell you the modern gloves don't need it, but they always benefit from it. I do recommend it. Then I'm gonna take them down to training later in the week, stop a few shots in them. I'll come back and talk to you and let you know what I think. I'm really excited to get these out on the pitch. First impressions, I'm a fan. I'll just show you the left-hand glove on hand as well. It's a rare thing from Nike with their cosmetic detailing. There's actually a slight little difference on this left glove with the cosmetics, that little pop of red on the index finger. Of course, this is the neighborhood pack gloves. It was going to be the Euro 2020 colorway. It's a shame we didn't get to see that tournament. You know, we all love a major football tournament. Such is life. We're all just trying to enjoy football the best we can. But it's a good looking glove overall. I'm really happy with it. The black palm, I always find black latexes tend to just be a little bit more durable than some of those colored latexes. So all up, very happy with the first impressions on this. Let's talk some more after I played some football in it. All right, guys, I've had a training session in my Phantom Elite gloves. Now I'm back to talk a little bit about my experience in them. Short version of the story, it was a very good experience, and I'm definitely going to be wearing these in my match on Sunday. One thing that really impressed me about these that I wasn't entirely expecting was how solid and supportive and protective they feel on the hand. For a glove that's just neoprene mesh on the backhand and a latex palm, they were really impressive in that regard. When people were getting a hold of shots from close range, I had no issues dealing with them in this glove. Another thing that really sold these for me was the fit on them. Some negative cut gloves, you get a bit of an issue with the fingers twisting on catching, and you're kind of catching the ball on the seam or on the gusset and not down the latex where you want your fingers to be making contact. No issues with that in this glove. The fit, the way that they've sewn it, it just stays in place where it should. Another underrated, quiet achieving feature of this glove is what Nike call their bio-align technology. The glove's not sewn straight. It's got a little bit of a curve in the fingers, as you can see there. I'm not pulling my fingers down. That's just how the glove sits. Now, the benefit of that is that your hands are just in the most catch-ready position that they can be, ready to grab onto that ball. And it really showed for me last night. A couple of crosses came in and I caught them when I'd maybe be tempted to punch them usually. So that sort of benefit from a glove is huge. It can be the little things that make a difference. Having said that though, I did punch a couple of balls clear last night and there was no issue with the protection in this glove either. I've only got one complaint really from this glove, and that was the wrist area. I mentioned before that it's got a really solid, protective and snug feel. That's for the most of the glove. Once you get down to this sort of metallic strip here, the material below it is a different neoprene. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there. It's not nearly as thick and it's not nearly as supportive. So you got this lovely, snug, supportive fit down to here, and then it just gets a bit thin and flimsy on the wrist, which is a bit disappointing. I feel like Nike could have done something better on this wrist. But one thing with Nike is they design their gloves with the professional keepers in mind. And most professionals are putting a lot of tape on their wrists, and that's probably where they prefer to get their support from, rather than from the glove itself. So maybe I can let them off the hook on that. Can't do a glove review without talking about the palm. And that was very interesting on this glove. The good news is the durability. I'll show you this one here. There's not a scratch on it. I know they've only had one session, but you usually expect to see something, even just a few little scuffs around here from your first session onwards. These are spotless on both gloves, so I've got very high hopes for the durability. The one part that wasn't so great about these was the grip, surprisingly. They've had a wash. They didn't quite come alive like I was hoping. The grip was fine. I wasn't spilling anything, but I was expecting a little bit more. Again, in their defense, I feel like there's still a little bit of chemical in this latex. They've had a second wash now, and I'm very curious to see if they perform a bit better for me on Sunday. Overall, I've heard a lot of good feedback about Nike's ACC latex, so I do have high hopes for this overall. Now, one final thing that impressed me last night at training was these bad boys, which turned up in the post earlier this week. Nike are running a very generous sale at the moment. Go check it out. Mercurial Vapor Elites. A lot of people regard this as one of the best boots on the market right now, and I got to agree, these are a lot of fun to play in. James is going to tell you a lot more about these if you click on his link up here. They're a good boot. Go check it out. I did cop a little bit of grief from my teammates for being a full kit wanker in Sunday League, but you know what? I can live with that. I'm a sucker for matching boots and gloves. Now, Nike, we need to talk. It's about your gloves. Not so much the gloves themselves. They're good. It's the price. I mentioned earlier in this review, the full price on the Phantom Elite gloves is £115. I'm not kidding. They are good gloves, don't get me wrong. But for that sort of price, you could get 2 or 3 pairs of a smaller independent glove brand, which are frankly going to perform close to on par with these. They might not fit quite as comfortably or feel quite as premium, but you can still get a very nice contact latex, and you'll be getting 2 or 3 pairs for the price of what you would pay for these. So that's a little bit disappointing in that regard. I guess to sum it up this way, if what I've described in these gloves and what you see in these gloves sounds good to you, and you've got the money and you want a pair, go ahead. They're good gloves. You will not be disappointed. They're really nice to play in. But if you're balking a bit at the price tag, you're someone that wants that value for money in your purchases, or especially if you're someone that likes to go through a lot of pairs of gloves and change them quite regularly, I don't know if these are really the best choice for you. There's some fantastic up and coming brands selling gloves which will perform close to, if not as good as these, for a fraction of the price. All right, guys, that's my thoughts on the Phantom Elite Goalkeeper gloves. A really nice glove with a very high price tag. Huge thank you to James for having me on the BootWizard Boot Reviews channel. If you guys have enjoyed the video, let us know down in the comments, because if it's goalkeeping content that you want to see, we can bring you more, absolutely. Give me a follow on Delair Football, and I'd love to talk to you guys. Now, until next time, keep enjoying your football, keep training hard, and try not to upset your goalkeeper.
Wasn't bad, that, was it? I think we'll get him back on. Hit the like button, get subscribed, and we'll get him back on for some more glove reviews.